do you actually prepare? What does your process look like? Because it was suggested by one of the actor professors who visited us, Ian Bingham. You've got to have empathy for these characters, even and maybe especially like the evil one. But what about the super good one? Somehow you got to figure out who they are to become them on stage. That was a lengthy explanation, wasn't it? Anyway, y'all go see Godspell. Mother and I are going to go see it. We've got tickets on Friday night. Again, just go to the Bearfield College of Arts and Sciences website. You will be able to find tickets from there. And thank you for that testimonial, Don Hartley. And I'm a little tangled up. So anyway, two more quick announcements. So this will be on Sunday. This is going to be at this is at the River Market. WAMA Fest, that's West Alabama Multicultural Alliances. So this is the Tuscaloosa Heritage Festival, and that's going to be from 2 to 4 p.m. this Sunday at the Tuscaloosa River Market. Many different cultures will be represented in attendance. There's going to be dancing, there's going to be food, and it's just an overall really interesting cultural experience.
It's a great celebration of the 250th anniversary
of the country.
Because whether people want to admit it or not, the United States is a melting pot, a giant melting pot of people from all over the world come to this part of the world and have formed a country of free people now for 250 years.
Very well said, Don Hartley. I think I feel I'm more representative of that myself, without going into too much detail, but I like to think of myself as part of the melting pot. But we have one more event to announce before we go ahead and segue. Death by Chocolate is on Sunday, and Townswear is a proud sponsor. So they are in a brand new location this year at the Bryant Conference Center. Why? Because it has blown up. They have so many vendors. So Death by Chocolate, again, Sunday, and that's at the Bryant Conference Center, 2:30 p.m. You get in with your general admission ticket. At 2 p.m., you get in with a VIP ticket. So I'm going to be there, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm going to wear my stretchy pants. I'm going to try all the chocolate, and I'm excited. Johnny Rocket and I are planning to present the grand prize award trophy. I'm not sure what it looks like yet, or whatever it is. So we are very excited to be there. Just go to www.counselingservice.org. This is to benefit Family Counseling Services. They do a lot for this community. They help people who maybe otherwise could not afford counseling services. And I love how they are meeting us here where we are in this community.
Still say it should be Life by Chocolate. I mean, that you got to live for chocolate.
Well, you know what we can do is put in a plug for that with Larry Devers, and see if we can make that happen for next year. So Dawn, I do have something to talk to you about really quickly before we go to break. Do you know that many careers start in one place, and people don't always realize it?
Yeah, career. That's something that is important, and the Barfield College of Arts and Science can help you do something about it.
You are right. You hit the nail on the head. Future doctors, attorneys, researchers, educators, they all build their foundation here.
You learn how to think, how to communicate, and how to lead. And that's extremely important when you're talking about it.
That is correct. And those skills carry into every field.
That's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about what's next,
start at arts and science. And you might want to write this down.
Yeah.
artsandsciences.ua.edu. That's artsandsciences.ua.edu.
Yes, thanks for that. They should write it down. You're right. Bearfield College of Arts and Sciences, where it all begins. Roll Tide and roll research. Okay, so Dawn, quick question. On a scale of 1 to dazzling, how is your sparkle today?
Sparkle. Well, this Wednesday, so it's the sparkle is kind of not quite lustrous today. As we get closer to the weekend, it'll pick up a little bit.
Well, so the temperature is sort of a Needs Hudson Pool kind of a vibe right now. And let me tell you something, Don, you are in luck. Hudson Pool Fine Jewelers can fix that real quick.
And they can't. I guess just about all of my wife's jewelry comes from Hudson Pool.
Well, of course it should, because you're a good husband.
Yeah, engagement rings, fashion pieces, watches. They've got every bit of sparkle covered.
That's right. And don't forget, they have something for every budget and every occasion and every gift occasion, and even the just because. And not just the sparkle quality. Their diamonds are selected to shine brighter than the rest.
That's pretty dangerous information for husbands everywhere.
Maybe, Dawn, you should think about it this way. It could be helpful depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, so whether you're celebrating something big or just want to level up your sparkle, go. Oh, sorry, that was your line.
Go see Hudson Pool.
Yes,
They're always happy to help you.
absolutely. You can visit them at 1111 Greensboro Avenue or hudsonpool.com for the same great service. And just tell them Miss Sunshine and Johnny Rocket and Don Hartley sent you.
Yeah, but don't tell them that Johnny's wearing a tank top.
I would agree with that. Okay, and on that note, we're going to segue to break. When we come back, we're going to welcome back to the Noon Show studio the always fabulous Dr. Rachel Ginter from UAB. You've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be here right back. So I blew way past the suggested rate top, but we were having so much fun. Who cares?
Once it starts, yeah, it just flows. It's so natural. It was great. You did great.
Thank you. And if you wanted to just review this for any, but you are probably like Johnny, an active listener and don't need
You
it,
can ask me
and just
whatever.
I want to slip in somewhere in there.
and Dawn Harley,
Right on.
she's got this too. We're also actively speaking about this, just so you know.
Yeah, just at some point, it's an event coming up.
And I'm sorry I interrupted you. Please say
My son-in-law is a cancer researcher.
At UAB.
what?
No, at MIT.
Stop it right.
Well, I
You
didn't know.
saying I've got a connection to MIT? I've got to talk to you about that later. Anyway,
Ooh, I think we should talk about that. I think I might need to.
I have a book I want
He's
published
French,
through
by the
MIT
way.
Kids Press.
Stefan. But what he said, we could have solved the cancer problem years ago if we did the same thing with cancer research that we did with the space program.
I just realized what I didn't do. I didn't hit the button.
And
Hi. We live and we learn.
Yeah, you got to dole out little here
Didn't
and
even
there,
die.
play politics with this school, that
The YouTube
school.
live stream didn't work for the first.
so, I mean, the new Artemis 2 mission going
Well,
on.
the live stream worked,
Been
but the
inspiring for me
webcam
in
didn't
the
work.
lab.
Facebook is fine, but
You know,
Oh, the webcam didn't work?
yeah, but I figured it
Go all
out.
in.
It's all good now. Going.
Going to the moon or-
Shoot. Can you help me remember to hit that arrow? We were just dead air until I finally just hit it. I'm like, why is it silent? Johnny always says that.
Hit the arrow.
One simple
Yes, sir.
That's
time.
very
Very
helpful.
reminder.
Thank you. You do such a good job doing something like this. You know what happens is then people ask you again. And you're like,
You know,
I'm just warning you.
my son died from cancer,
I'm so sorry.
so we're very much into cancer research.
Oh, and speaking of that, did you know Edie is a 4-time survivor? And I
Yeah,
want to introduce
I know
you
that.
to her. She's Elvis's second cousin. She has this whole big program initiative thing called Women of True Grit. I said, I have a Women of True Grit to
I need to
introduce you to. Yeah, she said that, she said she'd be downstairs a week. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
Because,
I'll go, yeah.
He's as sweet as can be.
yes, she's
That's
fabulous.
everywhere, man.
You need to know there's only one place in West Alabama to go. The Tuscaloosa Thread. Download it for free now in the
The Tuscaloosa Thread.
Thanks for listening to the Noon Show.
Oh, I miss
with
that
Lisa
show.
Jones and Johnny Aycock on Catfish 100.1 or online.
So
on the
Don, you can
Catfish
have a-
Tuscaloosa app. You can call us.
You can ask her
live
whatever you want. She said,
We're just chatting.
I don't know why I thought I needed to repeat
Or
that,
message
but I
us
just,
now
I
on
just
the
did it.
Catfish Tuscaloosa app. Here's Lisa, Johnny.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Noon Show right here on FM 100.1, streaming live, of course, on thenoonshow.com, and as always, home of Fun Radio. What do you have to say for that, Don Hartley? How do you like being in the Noon Show Fun Show studio?
Hey, it's fun. I've been here before, but you
You
guys
have.
have even fixed it up a little bit better than it was last time I was here.
Well, I appreciate the compliments, but I would like to go ahead and get right into it with our esteemed guest. In case you are just now joining us, we have in the Noon Show studio Dr. Rachel Ginter, Assistant Professor in the Department of Surgery at the University of Alabama at Birmingham Heersink School of Medicine. Dr. Ginter, welcome back to the Noon Show studio.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm so happy to be back.
I'm so glad you are here. I love to see your bright, shining, smiling face. And I just want to dive right in. I'm just going to go there. So what drew you personally into cancer research? So your research has to do with research on tumors.
Yeah, that's right. I specialize really in pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic, right.
But as we were kind of talking earlier, my family, like many families, have been impacted by cancer. And that's what really drove me to study cancer. Unfortunately, I did lose my grandmother and some people very close to me to cancer. And so I set out on this quest to change the future so other people don't have to lose their loved ones to cancer.
And one quick review from the last time, don't kill me for saying this, but one of the reasons you chose pancreatic cancer per se is because, quite frankly, it's a challenge. It's difficult and you are up for it.
That is
Right.
right. That is right. I was going all in, and pancreatic cancer is one of the most difficult cancers to study.
What makes it so difficult? I'm sorry, Don, you're going to ask that.
That's no.
Yeah, so there's several reasons. One big thing, it's one of those cancers where you find it too late. So
Yeah.
often people
Yep.
come in, it's already spread, it's not good. We don't have a good way to diagnose this tumor early. The pancreas is a complex, important organ, and the way that the tumors grow can make surgery very difficult. It's surrounded by other very important organs. And so one thing our lab has recently put emphasis on is early diagnosis. We've got to find a way to find these tumors sooner.
That's the question. How do you do it? My grandmother died from pancreatic cancer, and for those that don't know, it's one of the most painful.
Yes, that is true.
So where are we in being able to get that early diagnosis? What are some of the signs?
So what makes pancreatic cancer difficult is a lot of the signs, are common signs with other
Could be a
diseases.
bunch
it
of
could
other
be other
things.
things. So we've got to find a way, to recognize these signs and have a way to say, oh, this is pancreatic cancer, not something else. And so that's what our lab is trying to focus on. And we really want to find a way to do this that's non-invasive. Something as simple as a blood draw or something like that, where it doesn't require surgery.
You cannot do it with a blood draw now, clearly. So what do you
Currently, you cannot.
You can only find it during surgery or what?
Right now, I would say imaging. Such
Imaging,
as,
okay.
PET scan and MRI, we've heard these terms. That can help localize and find the tumor. But then you have to have a reason to go get those scans.
Yeah, my grandmother died from it, and she probably would have lived longer if they had at that time CAT scans and PET scans and things like that, because she died just really before that started becoming a diagnostic tool.
Wow. Yeah. So those types of scans have helped. They have. But I think, and I know as a field, we can do better.
What should friends, family of people that have a relative, a friend that has pancreatic cancer, how do you try to help them through that?
Great question, Don.
Yeah, that is a really good question. The idea and the caretakers of patients with cancer play very, very important roles. Cancer obviously affects the patient, but the whole family gets involved. A lot of the times, having a ride to your appointment, having someone there to pick you up, having someone help you get groceries and make those little things and those little parts of your day easier can go a long way.
It's just showing your love for someone.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I'm also kind of wondering, so speaking of working on early detection methods, are we improving? If so, is it at a steady clip, fast pace, or slow? Or what would you say? What are your comments about that? What does it look like?
So it's getting better every day. We're learning new things every day. Our lab is working on a blood test where you could go through a blood draw. We get your blood, we study it in the lab, and we're looking for markers or proteins secreted from the tumors.
Okay, so say we get to that point. Then how do you train the professionals in the field, whoever, to look for those markers? Do you even know what that is? That, am I jumping the gun with that question?
No, you guys are brilliant. That's a great question. So the
Thanks.
implementation of these tests is a whole other concept. Say once we have this sort of
You got to be
down,
able to interpret it. If you can't see it, what good is it, right?
yeah, and you have to, we have to teach the doctors who are out there seeing these patients. Obviously, I'm in the lab, to look for these things and to think to order these tests. And so coming on things like the Noon Show and talking about these things helps spread that information across the world.
I'm so glad that we're able to help do that through science communication. Or there's also a component, I'm sure, of required ongoing education that you all have to do. And when I say you all, I think of you. I know you're not a doctor, you're a researcher. I mean, Professor Ginter, but also, the surgeons and the medical doctors as well. What does that component look like, the ongoing education?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for the physicians, they do something called continuing medical education. And that's something I do more informally as a researcher in the lab. But that looks like going to conferences, going to other universities, places throughout the world, and learning about the cutting edge techniques, and then taking that back to our community.
Okay.
That's one thing my son-in-law does, cancer research in Massachusetts. And he said he thinks is the key to resolving a lot of the issues with cancer is communication.
I agree with that.
I love that you said that. Thank you, Dawn. Okay, look, we're going to address more of that with Rachel and Dawn when we come back. This is such important work, and we're just getting started with this conversation. We're just going to step away for a quick break and be right back here on the Noon Show. You've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We will be right back.
You got it.
That's Johnny Rocket.
That's right. Community-based bank.
Okay.
When we come back, let's do this.
That was
But you'll have to start.
Rest of the day, I'm thinking about him in a tank top. That's it.
Discovery Bryant is a Bryant banker at one of their convenient locations at Fallen Boulevard, Northport, North River.
That sounds a little different, right?
Bryant Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the new
Interesting.
show on
It was just a
Catfish
different
100.1.
vibe.
Lisa
Yeah.
Jones and Johnny Aycock. Online
Yeah,
on
it's this.
Catfish.
Yeah, he's not
Yes.
normally that.
He's not normally that. You say,
Right, Johnny,
well, I got to thinking, that's normally how he says.
Yeah.
But I love it.
On the Catfish
Oh, I think I pulled something in my neck.
Oh,
Welcome back right here to the Noon Show on FM 100.1, home of fun radio, as always, and streaming live everywhere in the world on thenoonshow.com.
Lisa, you know what? I didn't feel at Bryant Bank.
What's that, Don?
Pressure.
Well, that's a big one.
Nobody rushing me. Nobody talking over my head.
Just real conversation.
Exactly. They took time to help me understand everything.
That builds trust.
That's not necessarily easy for me either. So, but it takes them a little extra work sometimes. It really does. You feel like that they're on your side. There's not just a business.
Exactly. You are exactly right, Don. And honestly, that's what makes a difference.
Exactly. You can visit Bryant Bank in any one of their beautiful locations: North River, Northport, beautiful downtown T-Town, or online at bryantbank.com.
Bryant Bank is an equal housing lender and member of FDIC. So as we were segueing to break, we were just starting to talk a little bit about, I know you've got an event to promote too. So let's talk a little bit for just a second, if you don't mind, about science communication and what is it and why is it important?
yeah, science communication for me is one of the most important things that we can do outside of what we do in the lab. And I love it. I love to talk to people about what I do because I don't think people know enough about what goes on behind the scenes.
I would agree 100%.
and what goes on in the lab. So I think it's really important as scientists that we talk about that, because we do some pretty cool stuff and we need to communicate that to people so they know that we're working hard and we're trying.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a shame. So Johnny and I have had this conversation for a while, sort of ongoing, maybe working at the University of Alabama, Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry. We out here, the breaking news from the lab, the professor walks out, something great has happened. I'm getting all the instant tea, and I learned so many cool things over the years, and I didn't realize how niche that was, and how I always thought it was cool, but in reflecting back on it, wow, what a privilege. And also it was very niche. And then the realization in talking to Johnny, people in general don't get that. And that's part of the reason we're here today with you, right? And with the other STEM researchers. And so I'm glad that we brought up science communication. I do think it's important, but something else is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Don.
I was just going to say, I would think that the communication is really important because of how fragmented the research is in cancer.
Yes, definitely. And I will say it does take a skill to kind of translate the lab talk to communicating what we're doing. Because like Lisa mentioned, it does get niche. As a scientist, I go down this rabbit hole when I study this niche thing. I've got to take myself out of that rabbit hole and communicate what I'm doing. And that's so important for scientists.
And that can take you in a whole different direction.
It can, and you never know who's going to hear it. The right person hears it, the right people hear it. Who knows what other new incredible rabbit holes you find. You might, as Johnny would do, circle the wagons around to making some kind of economic development connection. Maybe through science communication, we can be influencers. And so, I'm not sure where it starts, but maybe have influence on how the questions are chosen, right? They get answered. And it depends. I'm sure everyone has their own process. You can talk more about that, but maybe starting an industry depending on what company it is, ask them what questions they want to have answered and to connect that to economic development. But that is not always the mindset. What do you have to say about that, Rachel?
Oh, yes, I totally agree. Connecting with people in the industry, what they're working on, connecting with patients, what they're going through. How can we better curate what we're doing in the lab to help what patients need? And then you never know who else is working on something. You could join forces and get there sooner.
And then when you're working with industry, you never know when that's going to lead to more resources, right? More resources could be money resources, could be introduction networking resources. Forget about it. Sometimes it's like off the chain, and it just is an explosion of opportunity potentially, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's why science communication is so important.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the science more and about science communication if we have time, but I really want you to promote. You have something really, really special coming up. Would you share this with our listeners?
Absolutely. So I'm really excited. And this is kind of in the same vein as science communication, but to support your local science and cancer researchers, we have an event coming up in Birmingham.
Oh, what is it?
So this event is put on by the O'Neill UAB Cancer Center, and it's called Palette and Palette. So it's one night, Thursday, April 23rd at 6 p.m.
Is this a dress-up event?
It is.
Ooh.
It is not too formal, so bring your best
Yeah.
spring dress, because we're going to have dancing. We're going to have full chefs.
Dancing?
We're going to have artists. We're going to have dueling pianos. It's going to be a
Wow.
fun night.
Okay, dancing, food, dueling piano. You said artists?
Artists painting live.
Oh my gosh. So why are we gathering here? What would we be doing this for, Rachel?
Besides just having a good time.
Well, I mean, that would be enough by itself, but I think there's another reason we're doing this, right?
That's true. There's more to this. All the money raised goes to cancer researchers at the UAB O'Neill Cancer Center and young cancer researchers.
Right.
People who are investing their careers to study cancer, the money will support them and their studies.
Because I can tell you in the work that I did, they're getting started. Lab startup is just, quite frankly, it's not cheap. I'm not going to lie. There's no way to sugarcoat it. And so that helps. I mean, I don't know how all you all work out your deals. There's a startup package. Some of it's furnished through the university. Some of it's blah, 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 whatever. But I think what you're saying is this is sort of part of that to kind of help give them a leg up, right, early on in their careers. When they're, down the line, you've written grants, you've got more grant funding, you've gotten more everything. When you're established, when you're getting started, dadgum, I'm just going to say it like that, dadgum, right? You just need some help.
Yeah. And the money that's raised through this event funds those early ideas where you need money to go after this idea you have. It's funding the research of tomorrow.
Which is essentially removing a barrier to new research for new researchers. And what a grand idea to really kind of help promote them, to encourage them along their early path, because as we all know, not only does failure happen, but it's an expectation. It's flat out an expectation. We know that, but you kind of need to get used to it. And probably, even in the entry level professor has done this as a graduate student, but still, when you're the PI all of a sudden, and it's on you, I've never done it. I'm just trying to imagine this on hypothetical island. It's a whole different level of pressure. What do you say about that, Rachel?
Yeah, you have to learn how to fail gracefully, because we fail
Ooh.
often. And so you have to learn how to pick yourself back up and use every failure as a teaching lesson to do better next time.
It's kind of like a baseball batter. Out of every 10 times at bat, you may get one hit out of those 10 times at bat, but that one hit may be a home run.
That's exactly right.
And the other times are kind of, they equate to failures. And someone else, I think it was Martin Houston, that used a baseball analogy like that, talking about failure. And he used to, they looked a little bit foolish, but they got it there. They did it. They maybe were afraid to do it, but they worked through the fear. They just do it scared because of that moment when they had that potential home run. And it's the same thing in research, right, Rachel?
Yes. And so I like to say, I've at this point found a lot of ways to not cure cancer. But one of these days, all it takes is finding that one way to make it happen.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say too, you said I found a lot of ways to not cure cancer. All of that gets documented. I want our listeners to know this. This is not willy-nilly, oh wait, we just crumpled up the paper and threw it away. Absolutely not. This stuff is recorded in different ways in these super safe lab notebooks and computers. I don't know what your process looks like, but so the next person who can come along, learn from those failures, without spending the money, without spending the time, they've learned from what you've done, what didn't work, to help inspire them to think about new ways on how it might work.
Absolutely. Yes, that is accurate. I call me a little old school. I always do things by hand in my lab notebook. I put it digitally.
Is it a hardcover one? And it's maroon, right?
It is.
Yes, I used to buy those. And I thought, why? Because I remember thinking from my perspective, why the heck did they spend the money? Because they last.
Yes, they're built to last. I document everything on there. And I don't know if you guys knew this. You're not, in your lab notebook, you're not allowed to scribble anything out. Because people
I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
Did. So if you,
they're made by Avery or something, and they are not cheap either. It's like everything else with the research, but they're that way for a reason. They're quality, and they're made to last because they're of the important knowledge that is captured in those pages, whether it's success or failure.
Yep. Can't scribble anything out.
No scribbling. I didn't realize that.
Transparent. Someone needs to be able to read that and know what you did, why you did it, and then we learn from that.
Isn't it funny that I was able to connect that as a buyer, right? Isn't that kind of funny? But anyway, so tell us a little bit more about this fabulous event, date, time, all the things. Exactly where is it?
So it's downtown Birmingham at the Fennec. If you guys haven't been there, it's kind of near the
I've never been there.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
You been there, Dawn?
Yeah, it's not too far from Railroad Park.
Yep, not far from Railroad Park. Not far from the baseball stadium. Great venue. It has 2 floors, and we're going to be spread out. We have the whole venue for our artists, our musicians, our 7 chefs. Everyone's local.
She got my attention with the 7.
I know. We both commented at the same time.
Yes, so it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun night. It starts at 6 p.m. So get there. You'll be able to try the food from all 7 chefs.
Mm.
We'll actually have a little bit of a competition. You'll be able to vote for your favorite chef.
Ooh,
So
a
that
People's
you better
Choice
try them
Award.
all. Yep, there will be a People's Choice Award. So we love a friendly competition.
How do I get my ticket? I don't have my ticket yet. I haven't gotten around to it. So
That is a great question.
yeah,
You
really,
can
I
go
need.
to
I'm
our
gonna get it
website.
right as soon as we get off the air, though. How do I do it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. You can go to our website, which is go.uab.edu/palette and palette.
Say that again. Go dot.
Go.
Write it down, y'all. Go
Yep,
dot.
write it down. Go.uab.edu/palette and palette.
Will you spell palette and palette because
I
that's
will.
gonna hang some of us up. Yeah.
It hangs me up. All right, so that palette and palette is spelled PALATE and A-N-D, and then PALETTE.
I somehow knew you were gonna say that.
You know, one of the great things about this event, you can go and have a good time, have some good food, fun, and when you walk away, you know that that money that you have spent there is going to go to possibly saving someone's life.
That is accurate.
That is so accurate, and then what a beautiful way to express it. Thank you for that, Dawn. So, guys, we are up against a break time. We're talking about hope, innovation, and real impact is what this is all about. We're just going to have to pause for a moment, and when we come back from break, we're going to get more of the same. You've been listening to the Noon Show on FM 100.1. Don't go away. We'll be right back. I'm exhausted from pushing the arrow. I'm just kidding.
It's always so fun being here.
I want to do my I felt like I'm tap dancing here. It's fun. It is fun though.
Yes, but time flies in here. I swear I walk in the studio and next thing I know it's
Oh, yeah.
almost an hour.
It goes fast.
I don't know, you're working so hard it might not be flying for you, but it flies for me.
No, I'm having a blast. What is really important to you to cover before we get out of here? We're short on time.
Totally fine. We got this in. I just love talking to you guys.
We're going to say it again before we leave.
Sure.
But about the science, anything in particular? What has changed since the last time we talked? Because you were talking about,
So a big thing, I don't know if people would be interested in hearing about this, is the incorporation of AI strategically and how can we,
people.
AI is not going to replace us as scientists, but how can we collaborate to be more efficient? And that's been a big change recently.
What's interesting to me is you say that. So then you scan those pages and those research notebooks, you feed it to AI, but then realize AI makes a lot of mistakes. I'm sorry, that wasn't very elegant. And we're back on. And then comes up with ideas that
Yeah,
10 or
and
12 or
ask-
30,000 people have. Well, what do you
My
mean?
son-in-law says AI is going to help.
But it doesn't replace
Be more
critical thinking.
specific.
Yeah, it's a
It does not replace critical thinking, not in any way.
It's going to help pinpoint stuff better.
Welcome back to the Noon Show right here on FM 100.1. Again, home of fun radio. We'd love to remind you of that all the time, but we are really short on time, so I want to dive right back into the conversation. So, Rachel, I know we did not cover this the last time you were here. Has AI or made any kind of an impact, and if so, how?
Yes, absolutely.
On your research, I mean.
Absolutely. So it's something as researchers we are adapting to and finding the best ways to integrate artificial intelligence into our research as a tool. Now I'll say it, AI is not going to replace scientists,
No.
but it can become a very helpful tool to make our research more efficient. So we are starting to incorporate AI into our lab to answer complex questions, especially when we're working with a ton of data. And so we can use AI as a tool to find the little hidden messages that maybe we were missing before.
Find the little details. And often it's a great tool to use to streamline certain processes and also relegate it to the mundane. It will never replace, to your point, the critical thinking component that only a human brain, at least to this point, can do, right? So give an example of how AI would potentially help in your research.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about what we're doing right now in the lab with some of our awesome collaborators. is we have discovered a protein that's on the surface of tumor cells, okay? And so we want to target that protein. But that would require us to build something to then target that protein. So we're working with AI right now to build a molecule, a structure of a molecule to target this protein. And I won't say too much, but it's going
Building
really
a
well.
molecule. That's interesting. Okay, never done that.
Yeah, so complex things, we want the molecule to be at this size. We want it to, bind this quickly. We want it to be toxic. We have all these parameters that we want, and AI can help build this molecule.
I'm sorry, when you said build a molecule, my brain froze for a second. So what do you want the molecule to do?
No, you're good. So we want this molecule to target the tumor cells.
Okay, that would be logical.
Yes. And
And
so
so in particular, the protein, we attracted that protein in the pancreatic cancer tumor.
yes.
Attack it. Ooh, like a knight in shining armor. Like a little, like gladiator kind of. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I love that.
So much of what you guys do in the research is predicated on money.
Oh boy, yes it is.
What are we talking about in that area? What does it take to be able to put together a world-class research?
Ooh,
A
that's
lot of zero, I'll just tell you a lot of zeros.
I think more zeros than people realize.
I think they will be shocked.
People would
And,
be shocked the amount of money it takes to do research and run a lab.
Yeah, that,
Everything is expensive. A lot of it's specialized equipment. That equipment needs maintenance, just
has to
like
be
your car.
maintained, right.
A lot of
There's
these things are
there's also
expensive.
the lab consumables component, your everyday solvents, your chemicals, your whatever you use. I don't know, dry goods that you use in your processes,
Plus the
but
personnel.
Oh yeah, and the personnel. We have to pay the brilliant scientists to do this work.
oh yeah, that's right. They got to make a living. I mean, that's just the reality.
That's the reality of it. So we try and be as efficient as possible. We recycle, we share, we reuse things, whether that's equipment or whatnot. We are, as strategic as possible, but it still takes a pretty penny to get this.
And you're competing for grants all the time.
That's right, and it's a highly competitive environment. I'm pushed every day in my grant writing to really think through my experiments, know why I'm doing them, know how I'm going to interpret them, because the grant process is very competitive.
I can tell you, I've got a quote from a lady, the late Dr. Lakshmi Kantham. She was a senior research scientist at the University of Alabama. Never forget hearing her say this, because you're right, it's expensive, but they are very good stewards of what they have. And her quote was this. She was on it. Research is a privilege, not a right.
I love
Right.
that.
And she would not allow any of the graduate students to waste. You don't waste anything, not a single drop of acetone, nothing. Right. So it is, but they're good stewards. But to your point, Dawn, it is it's a lot of money, and they've got to compete for the grant. So and unfortunately, has your research been impacted by any of the federal budget cuts?
Unfortunately, we have, but we're hanging in there. We're very grateful for our support from the American Cancer Society. We were impacted by some of the federal cuts to funding, but we're staying optimistic. I'm submitting grants left and right to try and keep the lab going, but it is a very, very competitive environment right now.
Yes, I feel like it's always been competitive, even more so now. And I know some of the cuts are well-intentioned. I get cutting out the fat, but I'm hoping that by us communicating, getting the word out there, maybe, as I previously stated, have an influence. Oh, wait, we need to take a closer look at some of these things, because that's not actually fat. We see how that could be useful, to help contribute to knowledge. And if Johnny were here right now, he would probably be giving phone numbers hey, call your congressman and that kind of, and but quite frankly, thank them for everything that they do for us, and just remind them that we're here and your constituents have this position where we want to support the research, because it's very important.
Good people out there doing good things, and the state of Alabama has been very supportive of research here, which we're grateful for.
They are. But in the short term, what can we do, Rachel? let's talk about more about this event coming up in Birmingham very soon.
Yeah, there is something that we all can do to support cancer research right now. An example of that is to attend this upcoming fundraiser downtown Birmingham at the Fennec, Thursday, April 23rd at 6 p.m. for a fun night where all proceeds go to young cancer researchers at the UAB O'Neill Cancer Center.
I love it. So Dawn, you gonna go get ahead and get your ticket as soon as we go off the air?
And if you look at the names, Armor House, El Barrio, the current charcoal grill, the Fennec, the Fair Steak and Seafood, the They, Salud Taqueria, those are some first-class places.
Yeah, these are some excellent local restaurants where their chefs will be featured. You guys can try all of their food. You'll get to vote at the end for your favorite.
Oh, I forgot about that part. So the People's Choice Award.
People's Choice Award. And while you're enjoying this food, there'll be musicians. You can wander around and see local artists painting live. Those pieces of art will be available for auction at the end of the night.
It's going to be fun. But before we let you get out here, one question that I have: what should people that are listening out there that know nothing whatsoever about cancer research, what would you want them to take away?
Great question,
Good
Dawn.
question.
Thank you for that.
I would say that they need to know that there are people out there who are dedicating their lives to better understand this disease. And it's a very complex disease because it's unique for every single person that experiences it. Every cancer is unique to the person and their experiences. It comes in different organs. And so we have to find a way to curate our research and our treatments on a per person basis because it's so unique. And so that takes a community, and it takes patient involvement, it takes researchers like myself, physicians, it takes all of us coming together to understand this disease because cancer is personal.
And you never know what thing is going to be that one key that opens
That's
the door.
exactly right, Dawn Hartley. So we're almost out of time. I wanted to give you like sort of rapid fire style 2 questions to answer. The first question before we get out of here, what gives you hope right now in cancer research? The second one is, what's something happening in your field that people may not realize?
It's a good question. So what gives me hope is working with my students, the younger generations, and the other researchers in the lab, and seeing everyone's dedication to discovery, to see students younger than me, their faces when they discover something through their research that nobody knows before. I know that we're in good hands for the future generation and what we're going to find about cancer.
Lots of special moments there, I'm sure.
Yes, that's one of my favorite.
Proud
parts of the lab.
mentor moments, right?
Yes, I'm very proud of my lab. They're very dedicated. They're smart kids, and I'm excited for their future.
Yeah, so they're the worker bees, and they're making it happen, right?
That's right. I couldn't be more proud. And so your second question was what people don't know about my field. So we touched on this a little bit earlier. Pancreatic cancer is very difficult to study. It's a very deadly disease, but we are trying. And I think a big thing is listening to your body. You know your body more than anyone else. You might know when something's wrong, so stay on top of your health. Be in communication with your doctor. And there are people out there that are really trying to understand these difficult diseases.
Well, Dawn Hartley, have you got one more question for Rachel?
Well, one thing, a friend of mine who is an oncologist, one thing that she says often enough is cancer is not necessarily a death sentence. And you got to remain positive.
That's so true. And we have made huge strides. It's not that, the field isn't advancing. It is. There has been incredible discoveries over the last several years, and those discoveries are becoming more and more frequent. So we have made a lot of progress. We still have progress to go.
I love that. Thank you. I like to leave on a message of hope, especially when we're talking about something as serious as cancer. But Rachel, one more quick time. We're almost out of time. Throw out that website address where I can get my ticket. I've already forgotten it again. I'll write it down this time, I swear.
All right, write this down for this fundraiser event next Thursday, the 23rd. You can go to go.uab.edu/PAC Palate and Palate, and that is spelled PALATEAND PALETTE.
Dr. Rachel Ginter, it's always a pleasure to have you in the studio. I know you will be coming back soon. Thank you for making the drive down from UAB. And we've got some more conversation, as you already well know, when we get off the air. And Don Hartley, thank you for stepping in for Johnny Rocket as he enjoys his fishing today.
I hope he has. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from it. And this is a subject that you could probably do 2 or 3 shows about.
No doubt. That's why she's a returning guest. But we are out of time, Don Hartley. You know how that is. I just want to let everyone know really quickly. Tomorrow on the Noon Show, we have Dr. Nicole Ackermans. She is a biology professor at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close this out, but quick reminder, don't forget to spay or neuter your furry friends and keep those tails wagging with up-to-date vaccinations. For Don Hartley, I'm Lisa Jones signing off for the Noon Show. But before we go, I'd like to wish everyone a splendiferous rest of their day. See you on the radio tomorrow.
Johnny will be proud that we held it down without him.
I think he will.
I hope so.
We need to get an updated picture with you.
Yes,
and I want to
let's
take
do
you
it.
to Edie.